My name is Journey, and I spent 32 years wearing the same winter coat because I liked how the pockets were sewn. Mom, you really should let me take you shopping, my son Callum said, eyeing that coat as I hung it on the hook inside his front door. Sloan and I could help you pick out something newer. This one works fine, I said. Sloan appeared from the kitchen, phone in one hand, wine in the other. Journey, hi. We weren't expecting you until 6. It's 5:45. Right. She smiled that tight smile she perfected. Callum, did you tell your mom we're eating in the dining room tonight? Harper's friend Ainsley is coming over, and I don't want her seeing the kitchen crowded. It's just family dinner, Callum said, but his voice had no weight. Harper's friends have parents who talk, Sloan said. You understand. I understood plenty. I'd understood for 3 years, since Callum married her. I walked to the living room, where my granddaughter sat doing homework. Grandma! Harper jumped up and hugged me. She was 12, still young enough to not care about her mother's social calculations. How's school, honey? Boring. Mom says I have to take French next year because it looks better for private high school applications. Do you want to take French? I wanted to take art, Sloan called from the kitchen. Harper, set the table. Use the good plates. The good plates. The ones I'd given them as a wedding present, bought from a small shop in Portland with cash. Callum worked as a mid-level manager at a logistics company. Sloan didn't work. They'd bought this 4-bedroom colonial 2 years ago in a neighborhood where driveways were always freshly sealed. I'd given them $40,000 for the down payment. Callum thought I'd taken a loan against my apartment. Mom, can you grab the water pitcher? Callum asked. I did. The doorbell rang. That's Ainsley, Sloan said. Journey, could you maybe wait in the kitchen until after she leaves? I don't want to explain why we're having a family dinner that includes... She stopped. Includes what? I asked. Nothing. Never mind. Callum touched my shoulder. She's just stressed about Harper's school stuff. You don't need to apologize for her. I'm not. I'm just explaining. We sat down to eat. Chicken, roasted vegetables, some grain I didn't recognize. Sloan took a cooking class, Callum said, at that place downtown. It was $300, Sloan said, but worth it for entertaining. We're having Callum's boss over next month. My phone buzzed. A text from Petra, my financial advisor. Call when you can, market update. Who's texting you? Sloan asked. A friend. You have a cell phone? For 3 years now. Huh, I didn't know you could afford that. Callum cleared his throat. Mom's been managing fine. On what, $30,000 a year? Sloan laughed. I don't know how you do it, Journey. I really don't. I cut my chicken. You'd be surprised what you can do when you live simply. Simply. Sloan sipped her wine. That's one word for it. After dinner, I helped clear despite Sloan's protests. In the kitchen, I washed dishes while they talked in the living room. Your mom could really use new clothes, I heard Sloan say. Maybe we could take her to Target. She's proud. She won't accept help. It's embarrassing, Callum, when people come over. I stepped outside to the back porch and called Petra. Journey, hi. Quick question about the real estate portfolio. The Riverside tenants want to renew. Go ahead. Also, the charitable foundation called. They want to confirm your donation schedule for next year. Tell them yes, same amount. That's $150,000. You sure? I'm sure. I hung up and stood in the cold. Through the window, I could see Callum and Sloan on the couch, her head on his shoulder. They looked happy. I went back inside. Mom, you okay? Callum asked. Fine, just needed air. You're not getting sick, are you? Sloan asked. Harper can't afford to miss school right now. I'm healthy. Good, because honestly, we couldn't handle extra stress. The holidays are coming and I'm hosting Thanksgiving. 20 people. It's expensive, but necessary. Image matters. I picked up my coat. I should go. Already? Callum stood. It's only 7:30. I'm tired. He walked me to the door. Thanks for coming, Mom. I know Sloane can be a little... A little what? He didn't answer. I drove home to my apartment. 1 bedroom, rent-controlled. Same place for 18 years. I made tea and sat at my small table, opened my laptop, checked my accounts. 3.7 million, give or take. He stared at the screen. What is this? My portfolio summary. This says 3.7 million. Closer to 3.8 now. Market's been good. His face went pale. I don't understand. I worked at the library for 12 years. Before that, I was a software developer. I started in 1989, bought stock options when they were cheap. I retired at 52. You never said anything. You never asked. But the apartment, the coat. You live like someone who doesn't need to prove anything. He closed the laptop. His hands were shaking. Why didn't you tell me? I wanted to see who you'd become without money influencing it. And? You became someone who married a woman who hides me in the kitchen when her friends come over. That's not fair. When's the last time you invited me to one of your dinner parties? He stood up, paced. Does Sloane know? No. Are you going to tell her? That depends on you. I gave you $40,000 for your house. You told her it was a loan I could barely afford. Why? Because she would have expected more. So you lied to protect yourself. You knew if she knew I had money, she'd never stop asking. Yes. Callum, if I told Sloane the truth right now, what would happen? She'd want you to pay for Harper's school, and probably a dozen other things. Would you stop her? I don't know. I closed my laptop. Then I think you have your answer. Mom, please, don't do anything rash. I'm not doing anything. I'm simply continuing to live my life the way I have been. He left 20 minutes later. I watched him sit in his car for a long time before driving away. 3 days passed. Then Sloane called. Journey, it's me. Can you come over tonight? 6 o'clock. We need to talk. I arrived on time. Sloane answered the door alone. Where's Callum? Working late. Harper's at a friend's. She smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Come in. The house was quiet. She led me to the living room. Callum told me something interesting about your finances. He said you have money, real money, and that you've been hiding it. I haven't been hiding anything. No one asked. That's semantics, Journey. You let us believe you were barely getting by. You accepted our pity. I never asked for pity. You accepted it. You sat at our table in your old clothes and let us feel superior. Why? To see who you really were. Her face hardened. Who I really am? I'm someone who married your son and gave you a granddaughter. I'm someone who's been kind to you despite the fact that you're embarrassing. You dress like a homeless person. You show up to our house and make us look bad. And if you know when I had money, then things would have been different. How different? You could have helped us, really helped us. You could have bought us this house outright. You could have paid for Harper's school. You could have made our lives easier. And in return? In return, we would have treated you better, included you more,
made you part of things. So your kindness has a price. Everyone's does. Don't pretend you're above that. I stood up. I think we're done here. Sit down. We're not finished. Yes, we are. You owe us, Journey. You owe Callum. Harper's your only grandchild. You can't just hoard your money while we struggle. You're not struggling. We could lose everything, but you could change that. You could make sure we're safe. By giving you what? 100,000? 200? To start. I walked to the door. She followed. If you leave now, things will change. I'll make sure Callum understands what you're doing. I'll make sure Harper knows her grandmother chose money over family. Go ahead. You don't think I will? I think you'll do exactly what you're threatening, and I think Callum will let you. I left. Callum called the next morning. Mom, what happened with Sloan? You should ask her. I'm asking you. She told me I owe you money. She said my kindness should have a price tag. Is that what you think too? Silence. Callum? I think you could help us more than you have. I gave you $40,000, which you have 3 million more of. Mom, Harper's education matters. And what do I get? What do you mean? If I pay for Harper's school, if I help with your mortgage, what do I get in return? You get to be part of our family. I already am part of your family. I'm your mother. You know what I mean. Say it clearly. You get to be included, invited, welcomed. So Sloan was right. Your affection is conditional. That's not what I'm saying. Then what are you saying? He exhaled. I'm saying that if you have money and you don't share it, people resent you. That's reality. So I should buy your love. Don't put it like that. How should I put it? Mom, please. Harper's applications are due in 3 weeks. Just help with the school. And after the school? We'll figure it out. No, tell me now. After the school, what's next? A bigger house? Sloan shopping? Your retirement? You're being unreasonable. I'm being clear. You want me to fund a lifestyle you can't afford so Sloan can impress people who don't matter. Harper matters.
Harper doesn't need a $45,000 school. Harper needs parents who love her more than appearances. He hung up. 2 weeks passed. Then Harper showed up at my apartment after school. Grandma, I took the bus. Does Mom know you're here? No. She came inside. Why are you and Dad fighting? It's complicated. Mom says you're being selfish. Dad says you're teaching us a lesson. What's the truth? I made her tea. Your parents asked me for money. For your school. And you said no? I said I needed to think about it. But you have money. Millions. Dad told me. I do. Then why won't you help us? Because your mother told me that if I had money, she would have treated me better. That her kindness had a price. And your father didn't disagree. Harper stared into her tea. Mom's been really stressed. She keeps talking about what people think. And Dad just agrees with everything now. What changed? I don't know. Maybe he's tired. Harper, I'm going to help you. Just not the way they want. What does that mean? I'm setting up a trust fund for your college. Full tuition, any school you want. But your parents can't touch it. They'll be so mad. I know. Will I still see you? That depends on them, not me. She left an hour later. I called my attorney. Thomas, I need to revise my will. Callum gets $50,000. Harper gets a full education trust. The rest goes to charity.
That's a significant change. Are you certain?
Completely.
Maybe give it some time.
I've given it 32 years. Drop the papers. He did. 3 days later, Sloan called. Harper told us what you did. A trust fund she can't access until college? And Callum gets $50,000? That's correct. You're punishing us. I'm making my choices. You're a vindictive old woman. I'm someone who won't be used. Used? We're family. Family doesn't have a price list, Sloan. She laughed, sharp, bitter. You think you're teaching us some lesson? You think we'll come crawling back? I don't expect anything. Good, because you won't get it. Harper won't speak to you. Callum won't speak to you. You'll die alone with all your money and no one who loves you. Maybe, but at least I'll know who people really are. She hung up. The next week I got a letter from Callum, handwritten. Mom, you're right. Sloan did change how I see things. I let her convince me that appearances mattered more than integrity. I let her turn your generosity into an expectation. I'm not asking you to change your will. I just want you to know I understand now. But it's too late. Sloan won't let Harper see you. She won't let me have a relationship with you without choosing between you and my marriage. And I can't lose my daughter. I'm sorry. I love you. I read it 5 times, put it in a drawer. Months passed. I saw Harper once, from a distance, outside her school. She looked taller. She didn't see me. I continued my life. Small apartment, old coat, quiet days. I donated more to charity. I traveled. I made peace with my choices. One afternoon I was at the grocery store. Sloan was there, at the deli counter. She saw me, turned away. I continued shopping. At the register the cashier smiled. How's your day? It's fine. Quiet. Quiet's good sometimes. I paid. Drove home. That evening Petra called. Journey, market's up. You're at 4.1 million now. That's good. What are you going to do with it all? Keep living. Keep giving it to people who need it. No family? Harper will get her education. That's enough. And your son? He made his choice. I hung up, made tea, sat at my table, looked out the window at the parking lot. I thought about Callum as a child, how he used to climb into my lap, how he used to defend me when kids made fun of my work clothes, how he used to say he wanted to be like me. I thought about the man he'd become, the man who let his wife decide what his mother was worth, and I thought about Harper, 12 years old, learning that love has conditions, learning that money changes everything. My phone buzzed, a text from an unknown number. Grandma, it's Harper. I'm using a friend's phone. I miss you. Mom doesn't know I'm texting. I'm sorry for everything. I stared at the message. Then I typed back, I miss you too. I'm always here. When you're 18, the trust fund is yours. Use it to become someone who values people over money. I hit send. Outside the sun was setting. The parking lot was nearly empty. I sat in my quiet apartment with my tea and my choices and my $4 million. And I wondered, if your own child asked you to prove your love by paying for it, would you? Or would you let them